What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Saiffers BPat podcast. The French Open is right around the corner, but as of right now, we've got a few smaller tourneys we're looking at in the lead-ups to that. Qualies are starting tomorrow, but we won't be covering those. We're looking at Strasbourg for the women, Belgrade, and Parma for the men. So Saifa will just kick us right off. We'll jump into the matchups at WTA Strasbourg.
Yo, BPat, what's going on, man? Oh, it's about that time, bro. I think we're all starting to feel it a little bit. RG is right around the corner. We actually go to France for the WTA. I believe the entire uh women's tour are now in France doing their quarantine, which is so exciting. Um, we get one last final WTA warm up tournament in Strasbourg, which I think the main draw started today, yesterday, um, on the Sunday, and tomorrow, uh, we got the rest of the games. So yeah. Let's get into it. First up, we got Caro Garcia versus Arena Diaz. I know we have absolutely conflicting views on this game, so why don't you go ahead
All
and
right.
tell me why you're wrong?
Um, so actually, I am right. I would be riding with Garcia here. Obviously, the money line sitting at minus 275 on my book is completely not. It's completely off the table. I don't think I'll be playing minus 4.5. That just seems like a lot of points. When Garcia isn't really a player that will just outright dominate. I think she'll definitely get the job done. We could see 3 sets. I think it'll be a 2-0 for Garcia. So if I could make that play, I probably would. But yeah, I don't see much from Diaz. She posted a negative record last year, 1-4 on clay. She's 2-3 this year. And she's lost 3 times. Once to Putintseva, that's understandable. But to Kanepi by 4 games and then Kozlova by 4. I think Garcia is kind of like just the better player here. I mean, Garcia's only losses have come to pretty decent players. We're looking at Mertens, Halep. Those were actually on hard court, and then on clay, she's lost to Kudermetova and Sinyakova. So I mean, it. I just think she's the better player. I think she'll get the job done. I think the minus 4.5 is a little too much. So I'm probably just gonna fade playing this match. But if you were looking for like a nice parlay piece, I personally think that Garcia would be a great pickup. But yeah, so go ahead and explain your wrong side to this argument. Your incorrect side.
Yeah, whatever. Honestly, I like the other side, not because Diaz is anything special. I mean, clearly she isn't, but this is a Garcia fade. This is a Caro Garcia fade. Um, Back in France now, and my stance on French players and all that. I think her. I watched the game against Siniakova last week in Parma, and I mean, what was the score? 7-5, 6-1.
Yep.
Yo, that could have been like 6. That could have been 6-1, 6-1. She was that horrible, and I mean that game wasn't a while. That was like what, like 3, 4, maybe 5 days ago now.
Something like that.
Something like that. Um, but yeah, bro, I'm not buying Garcia. I don't. I mean, Diaz isn't the worst player in the world either. Um, I don't think Caro Garcia should be a minus 278 favorite here. Uh, Having said all that, I lean over and DS plus 4.5. I will most definitely be playing one of those officially. But I might fuck with both. Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
see. I'm gonna think about it a little and take. It's probably the over that I'll be more comfortable with in the end. But yeah,
Okay, and I
that's
just
what I'm saying.
I wanted to add that I'm seeing Garcia minus 4 on Bovada at minus 125. So if we see a potential move to the minus 4, I think I might take that, to be honest. So I might be cracking the safe here. But that's more than likely I'll fade this match.
All right, bet. Say less.
All right, who we got up next?
Who we got Barbora Krejcikova versus Ocean Dodi. Now I told you about this match, and how I might and now how I was saying, like, dude, that might cause Krejcikova some problems, and I'd wait to see some lines. And we're looking at
A fat
obviously
line.
Krejcikova's favorite. Yeah, 5.5 games and over under 19.5. Um, honestly, the line is attractive if you want to back Dodea, but I feel like the fact that the line is that fat kind of scares me a little bit
Yeah,
because I
there's
don't
something
have
behind the
all the
scenes we don't know
confidence.
about. Yeah.
No, I mean that's just a bum, honestly, and Krejcikova is a respectable player, but I'm not fully buying into it and kind of looking to fade her, sort of like the Caro Garcia match. I'm not too high on the dog, but I don't think the favorite is that good either. But yeah, I mean, I'd approach this game the same as the other, probably dog and over. However, I'm way less confident on this one, but 19.5, man, I might fuck with that. Barbora, the way she started clay season, like she'd be playing some bums too, and she'd straight up lose the first set and then come back and eventually win in three. Um, which even with a plus 5.5 is kind of scary because if you even if you win the first set and then lose the next two like 6-2 ish, might be in trouble. So I might fuck with that 19.5, honestly. Um, but yeah, that not as confident as the other, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So the more I kind of look into this, I hadn't really looked into it prior, other than you mentioning that you were kind of thinking Dodin could kind of hang. One thing that I'm seeing is Krejcikova. Most of her recent wins haven't been against that impressive of like a player, like Kenin, Zhang, Buyakake, Blinkova, and then she beat Teichmann in Dubai, which is quite a while ago in March. But I believe every single one of them was by 5 games or more. Um, and their losses have mostly come from good players. Other than, well, is Bogdan a good player?
I'd say Anna Bogdan is bang on mediocre
Okay.
average.
Well, all of her losses have been pretty against pretty good players, except for say that one. Um, but I think there is potential for her to come out and kind of do something like that. Dodin's previous loss to Podorosko was by 7 games. She lost by 4 to somebody that I don't even know, Paquette. And I think there's some potential here for Krejcikova to kind of run the table. I think I'd be more comfortable with like a -5. But all in all, I'll probably end up fading this match. But I kind of see where the line is justified. And I can make some sense of it. But if it was at maybe like a -5, maybe I'd give it a go. The -5.5 is at plus money for me, so I think we might see it shift before they kick off. But yeah,
Yeah, fair,
that's it for
fair,
me.
fair, 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 fair. Um, yeah, Krejcikova, man, bit of a fluke. I know I talk about Siniakova all the time, saying how she's a doubles player trying to get her singles game on track. Krejcikova is actually her partner, and all these so her and Siniakova, all they used to do is just play like show up at all these tourneys and just play doubles. Um, and now Krejcikova is dabbling with the singles tour a little bit. So um, yeah, just not completely sold on her a player, although she has pulled off some impressive results. But I'd definitely look to fade her rest of the year. All
All
right,
right.
moving on. We got the one seed making her comeback to the tour, Bianca Andreescu, versus an absolute no name, Garcia Lazaro. Um, yo, I'm just fuck with this 19 under 19.5. I thought this would be one of them crazy ass spreads where Bianca's minus 3,000 favorite, 7.5 games, all that shit. 5.5 is playable, but I mean under 19.5 is sweet too, honestly. Um,
Yeah, 6'3", six
I think,
four, solid.
yeah, bro. I mean, um, I think the line is the way it is because Andrisco hasn't played since she got injured and retired in the final in Miami against Barty. Um, and we saw, but like in the Australian Open, she was playing her first few like main draw games in like over a year, and she was rusty AF for the first couple games. But I don't know, man. I don't think she'll be this rusty. I think she got this, man. I mean, Andrisco is very very good. Yeah,
All right. Well, I
I think
think what's up?
kind of silly this line. I
Yeah.
think this line's kind of silly.
I feel like I can agree to that. The one thing that kind of jumps out to me that would maybe worry me a little bit is that she hasn't played on clay since 2019. But at the same time, obviously, she's the much better player. I think it should translate surfaces. Like you said, she hasn't played in a while. And her run in Miami, we saw a ton of three setters. But the reason being, she played some pretty big name opponents. She beat Anisimova, then Muguruza, then SST, then Sakari, and like that's a pretty impressive run. So obviously her game, she's kind of found it a little bit. I think it's kind of odd that she hasn't played clay yet. I don't know what the reasoning might be for that. Maybe she just isn't a clay type of. I don't know. That's weird, but I like the under here too. I agree. I hadn't looked at the matchup prior, but like you said, the line you could definitely expect to see like a -6.5 for her going up against somebody who doesn't even play players close to the caliber of Andriscu. And yeah, I think we could definitely see the under here. She's Garcia. She has had quite a few losses that have gone under that total against complete no names. So I think that the under here actually has tremendous value. The line isn't on my book yet, but I think if it pops up at the under 19.5, I think I'll probably jump on it pretty quick. I think
Yeah,
it's
no doubt,
solid.
no doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. The reason why she hasn't played clay is because she was injured. She
Uh,
actually did pull up to she did pull up to Stuttgart and Madrid, and was actually like in the draw for both, and she had to withdraw
damn.
for both of them tournaments because she wasn't quite ready yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, she has been like practicing on clay, you know, but was never able to actually play a tournament yet. So
Yeah.
here we go, here we go. All right. The next up, Blinkova, Anna Blinkova versus Jill Teichmann. All right. I mean, Jill Teichmann is one of them chicks I'm super super high on. Blinkova is pretty good too. She's definitely one of the better young chicks on tour. Um, uh, I haven't really looked at this game as far as the lines go. I just knew that I'd be putting Teichmann in a money line because I don't see her dropping this game. But no, the lines are flat numbers over under 20, and the spread is 5. Um, which is kind of off-putting to be honest. Makes me want to rock with the -5. Um, not the under 20. I mean, even though like a 6-4 would push, but I don't know, man. For some reason, I'm more comfortable looking at the -5. For some reason, in case we see a 7-5 or 7-6 kind of set. But
Yeah.
yeah, Jill Teichmann, man, I think she lost to Sevastova, which was just such a bad game, honestly, from both players. But other than that, Jill Teichmann has been pretty convincing, pretty much for most of this year. But I mean, but also on clay.
Yeah. All right. For me, kind of the same boat. Yesterday I saw Teichmann was around like -350, so I figured she'd be a pretty solid parlay piece. That's since shifted to -460, which is where it currently stands on my book. Yeah, I think Teichmann will definitely get the job done. The question is, how efficiently will she do that? She's 1-2 on clay this year. She's only played 3 matches, but they've been against solid opponents, like you said, Sevastova. She played Badosa and went to 3 sets, which is pretty impressive with how Badosa's been playing as of late. She beat Svitolina in 3 sets. But yeah, she's definitely the better player here. Blinkova has lost 3 straight. She's yet to play on clay this year. Lost 4 straight actually. But she's yet to play on clay this year. 3 of those 4 losses in that streak were in straight sets. But yeah, I'm probably going to end up fading this match, but I think Teichmann will definitely get the job done. I think it's just a question of by how much. But yeah, -5 seems like a solid play. I'm not going to play it, though. I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably the best way to put it. By how much? Um, But yeah, don't sleep on Blinkovo if you ever see that name moving forward. Um, she's actually got a really good game, but hasn't quite found her groove this year.
Yeah, it looked like she
Um,
kind of struggled last year too. She was 4-10 on hard courts, 4-3 on clay, but not sure who those were against. So, but yeah, she's 4-8 this year, so not very good.
mm, Alrighty. I think this next game is a skip. Zanevska versus Hatuka.
Yeah, we'll skip that
Um,
one.
all right, bet. All right, Misaki Doi versus Shui Zhang. Um, Interesting matchup, huh? We kind of discussed this a little bit. Is there a side you like here?
I kind of like Doi here to get the job done. I mean, the money line is, let me find where it's at. I just saw it. Money line is -120 for Doi. Zhang just has been pretty bad as of late. She's lost an insane amount. She's 0-7 this year total. 0-5 on clay. Doi went to 3 sets against Wang, and Wang put together a super impressive tournament in Parma. But I think Doi has just been playing much better tennis. I mean, she's not winning very often, but she is winning, and that's like the main point. Of course, Zhang will eventually win a match, but I don't think she gets it done. I think the odds probably should be a little bit closer, like -150, -160. So I'm thinking I might go Doi money line here.
You know, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. Definitely like Doi here. I believe Zhang, she faced Sabalenka in Stuttgart. Is that right?
Yeah, 6-2, 6-2.
Yeah, I mean, if you face Sabalenka in the first round, you know your year is over. Um, she'll do that to you. But anyway, yeah, Misaki Doi. Kind of surprised I was actually backing her a little bit it
I
was
think you had
Parma,
her
right?
against
When she
Wang, right?
Yeah, I did in the first round, and then Wang did what she did, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if I liked her against Shang Wang, I definitely like her against Shui Zhang. So yeah, let's run it back. It's a respectable price too, like you said. So
Let's do it.
yeah.
Doi in
All right,
straights, baby.
all
Let's
right.
get it done.
Going straights. I wonder how much that costs.
I,
Probably one
I would just stick with money
plus
line.
180. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just curious.
that's a good little
She
sprinkle,
probably
maybe.
Yeah, it is plus 180. Wow. Um,
Out of Zhang's 7 losses, only one of them has been to 3 sets, and it was the most recent one against MCOS in Belgrade.
so she's only won one set in 7 games.
Yes. Yeah.
Jeez.
She's down 14-1 in sets this year.
Nice,
And
nice,
she's
nice,
an
nice.
even money line play. That's crazy. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Easy money.
Um,
I don't want to say that though.
all right. Serrano Corsteau versus Venus Williams. Um, Serrano Corsteau won all my respect and actually won my heart. After winning Istanbul the way she did. Um, as far as like the lower tournaments go, that was definitely one of the most impressive ones thus far this year. Um, she came out on top in a tournament where there were some pretty good players. Elise Mertens, who she beat in the final, Kudermatova, and a couple others.
She didn't play
But yeah,
Kudermatova.
super.
She played Kostiuk, Mertens, Potapova,
No, no,
Ferro.
no. I know. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Like,
okay, okay,
if you
okay.
look at the whole draw,
Gotcha.
like, considering all the players that were there, it was definitely surprising and impressive that she came out. Uh, came out on top considering all the players that were playing there. But yeah, Mertens in the final on its own, I think is super super impressive, regardless of who she played previously.
For sure.
Um, but anyway, again, like the Teichmann game, over under is a flat 20, and the spread is -5. In Kerstea's favor. Um, this again is another parlay piece for me. I mean, no way she loses this, right? Um, but yeah, I probably I don't know. Over under kind of scares me, but I'd fuck with -5 as well. Just like Teichmann. Since I have her in a parlay. Um, but minus 5 is definitely something I could look into for even money.
-5. I
Yeah, yeah.
I'm right on the fence here with the game spread because Venus has been pretty poor recently and she's been losing by quite an amount of games. I think she's lost by at least 5 in her last 4 matches, and that's pretty, like, that should lean towards Cersei for sure. Or I don't know how to say her name. Is that right? Cersei?
Kirstea.
Corsteau. Wow, that was close. So Corsteau, yeah, like you said, she had the impressive run in Istanbul. She played the one match in Madrid, lost to Bagula by 4 games. But that's the last we've seen of her. And typically, I'd probably kind of fade a match like this. At face value, I kind of lean Williams +5 because I feel like after 4 losses, I mean, she's bound to like bounce back. But at the same time, she's been losing pretty bad. She lost to Irani 6-1, 6-0 in Melbourne in February. And then like lost to Diaz in straights, lost to Brady
Yeah, I'm
6-2,
sorry.
6-4.
She needs to stop playing tennis, man. She really does. Like, I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, she went 1 and
eh,
8 total last year. She probably should have called it quits. I'm assuming she's probably trying to get one more win under her belt and then end on a win. Because I'm sure that's how most players would want to go out. But yeah,
no,
like,
they do like farewell matches. Like you can like schedule like a little exhibition match. Like,
yeah,
people can, send you flowers and shit. But I mean, tennis is one of them sports where like you can just keep playing if you're up there in age. Like it's not like basketball where you can go in for like 2-3 minutes, get a couple rebounds. You're like your teammates will like like cheer you off and shit like that. Like, yo, you're the only one on the court. Like, you're gonna get whooped on. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So like, enough is enough for real. Like,
yeah. She got to play like Billie Jean or something like that. Billie Jean King.
yeah, bro.
Somebody
Exhibition
that she
tours.
can
Yeah,
beat.
like
Yeah.
someone up there in age for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, as far as this goes, I think I'll probably fade. My initial thought was the Williams +5, but I mean, Cristea could definitely get this done by more than 5 games with the way that Venus has been playing this year. 0-2 on hard courts or on clay courts. Lost by 6 in both of those matches by 6 games. So, but I'll probably end up fading. But I kind of like the Cristea -5.
Yeah, just to note, head to head is actually 3-0 in favor 3-0 Venus.
Yeah, but
mm,
those are all hard courts, and that was in 2018 where Venus actually had some game.
yeah, true. True,
So
true, true, true,
I
true,
feel
true,
like
true.
that's kind of irrelevant. We know Cristea will get the job done here.
Yes, sir. Serrano
And
Corsteau.
you can see as you look at those 3 head-to-heads, the first matchup, Williams was the number 3 rank in that tournament, and then she was 8 in the next one, and then 13 in the next one. You can see like the regression of her falling behind. Um, but yeah, I think we can move on from this matchup. I think I've seen enough.
Bet, 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 bet. So yeah, that's Strasbourg. Day 2 complete. Day 1, I guess. Day 1.5, something like that. But yeah.
Day 0.5.
Let's Yeah, let's go back to Belgrade for the ATP tour this time.
All right, well, we
You
starting off
ready?
with, yeah, jump right in.
You ready? You ready? You ready? All right. The first game on the board is a skip. Malkan versus sorry, Medjidovic.
Yeah,
Definitely a skip.
definitely.
Um, Next up, Molang versus Igor Gerasimov. All right, man. Classic case of uh, better player in shitty form versus worst player in respectable form. Um, I think this is a good recipe for over. Gerasimov, I think, is head and shoulders above. I don't know how to say that name, Morang. Um, but just doesn't know how to play on clay, man. Absolutely useless on clay.
4 years straight
He
of a losing record on clay.
and every year he starts the year off pretty good in pretty impressive fashion on the hard court.
Hello? You kind of cut out on me.
Hello?
Okay, you're good. You're good. Continue. You kind of just cut out.
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah, he always starts off the year like, pretty impressive on the hard courts, and then once it comes to clay, he's just so useless, Gerasimov.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lean over. I'm gonna lean over 22. This line actually opened, sorry, -125 money line for Gerasimov and even money for Molang. That's actually moved a lot, but I'm not really buying Gerasimov as a side. I mean, even if you want to fuck with the spread, like I'm really not buying that. So I'm a fuck with the over flat 22. I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, I like nothing about this matchup. They're both
Excuse me.
they're both like god awful on clay. They're both very negative this year as far as their record shows. Molang has more wins in his previous few tourneys, but they've been like challengers, and then like one quali win in Belgrado. So he's actually a lucky loser here. He lost 6-1, 6-3 in the second round of qualies.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing that would make me kind of lean Gerasimov is his ability to win a set off of Kitchenato, but at the same time, it's like I don't think I can have faith putting a bet behind either of these players. Molang is just like a kind of like I don't even know, and then Gerasimov is just straight cheeks. So yeah, no, this is a fade for me for sure.
No, yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. Honestly, forget what I said. These guys are bums for real. Gerasimov stresses me out, honestly. Watching him or following him on clay, definitely stresses me out.
This is like my Giron pick today. Bum versus bum.
Yeah,
The battle of the bums.
yeah, bro. Yeah, um, yeah, but I wonder what's gonna happen here. Anyway, I do still kind of lean over.
Well,
But yeah,
whoever wins is
anyway,
gonna get slaughtered in the next round. Big fade next round.
yeah, facts, facts. I don't know, man. There's a lot of bums here. I mean, I don't know what the draw looks like, but I mean,
You're right.
a lot.
Gerasimov is gonna win the tourney.
You're right. Might make a run. All right. Anyway, Pablo Huevas. All right, moving on. Pablo Huevas versus Miomir Kekmanovic. Um, so tell me why Kekmanovic is only a -125 at home. Uh,
I see
at
minus
home.
115.
Oh, even better, man. Against Pablo Huevas. Yo, okay, so Pablo Huevas had a like decent-ish run in Geneva.
Don't discredit the man. He won in straights in 4 of those matches. But in the first round of qualies, Jacob Paul, the foreign long lost cousin of Jake Paul, won a set off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guess. But
Yo,
continue.
I'm calling that a fluke. Um, that little run he had in Geneva, I'm calling that a fluke. I'm gonna call him a one-tourney wonder. I'm surprised, honestly, that Pablo Cuevas was able to hang even that close with Shapovalov. I mean, he did lose in straights, but I mean, 6-4, 7-5 is, sort of respectable. You did win 9 games after all. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think his time is up, or maybe it isn't. But um, Kekmanovic at home. I mean, I know Kekmanovic has maybe lost 3 straight, albeit to decent players, Djokovic, Isner, and Karatsev. Um, but yeah, he's at home here, and I think he will definitely be excited to kick things off against old man Pablo Cuevas. Um, in all honesty, Kekmanovic got a lot of power, big power game, and Cuevas don't got that. I mean, he's got the IQ and good decision making, low errors. But I mean, as far as power goes, um, Kekmanovic might crush him. I like this a lot. We'll definitely be playing this two two U's possibly.
All right. Me, at face value, I kind of thought Cuevas. I kind of liked his money line. Hearing you talk about Kekmanovic and the fact that I didn't know he was going to be at home. The one thing that kind of like pushed me in that direction at first, that probably won't be a play for me, but the one thing that pushed me in that direction was The run in Geneva. Like you said, he put up 9 games against Shapovalov. And then Kekmanovic, before those 3 losses in the tournaments before that, he lost to Fognini 6-2, 7-5, Manarino 6-3, 6-4, and Dimitrov 6-4, 6-2. So that kind of put me off a little bit. But like you said, I mean, Djokovic, the 6-1, 6-3, you can't look at that as being like a terrible loss because Djokovic is Djokovic. Isner, he kept it really tight. And I believe that's the tournament where Isner made the final in Madrid. Is that correct?
Um, Not the final, but he did make the later rounds.
Oh, okay, yeah, he
But yeah,
lost to
it
Zverev, I
wasn't.
think,
Yeah, it was
in the
Madrid
semis.
though. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then he lost to Karatsev by 3 games. So I might actually tell you here on the Keck money line. I'll probably, if I'm gonna play it, I'll probably do 1U. But I'm like 50-50 on that and fading just because Cuevas is coming off that little streak. I don't think he'll be able to repeat anything like that, but I just feel like this is a little unpredictable at the moment, so that kind of scares me. But I mean, maybe I'll throw a unit on Kekmanovic and he'll just blow him out, like you said.
Yeah, he should. If he plays 80% of what he's capable of, I think he 2-0s him for sure.
That's fair.
Um, all right, moving on. Facundo Delbonis versus Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein, baby.
I think Klein is a lucky loser now, or is he? He is.
I'm not
Yes,
sure.
he is. He is a lucky loser. He lost to Christopher O'Connell. I think it's Christopher. He lost to O'Connell, the Aussie, in qualies. Yep. Delbonis did not need to obviously play in qualies. Yo, I like his 2-0. I think it's an insane price.
What's it
For
sitting at?
those that minus 130.
Sheesh.
I think that's. I mean, it's not super cheap, but I mean, definitely doable. Definitely attractive. If you can't do that, I'd go with his game spread for sure. I mean, I don't know what's good with this. Doesn't make much sense to me. Um, but yeah, not much to say there. Just Delbonis doing Delbonis things. Was super impressive in Roma. Um, until he lost to Opelka, but he put in a pretty decent tournament.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think Calvin Klein's going to cause him any trouble in the first round. A lot of 2-0s from Delbonis' end um, against your man Giro in qualies, and then
Not my. Don't call him
FAA.
my man. Relax.
He is your
No,
man.
hell no, not even close. Give me,
FAA Goffin also in straights. Yeah.
and he bageled
No brainer.
Kachanov. So, but yeah, I like double knees here with the games. I can't play the 2-0. I mean, but if I'm gonna say a play, I think the 2-0 is absolutely a great play. So I mean, if I could take that, I would. I'll probably end up taking the games. What I'm seeing right now is -4.5 plus 100 on my book. So maybe we'll see a potential move to -4. But I'll probably take -4.5 just for like a unit or so. But I like Double Neeson how he's playing as of late. He's been making runs. Made it to the third round in Madrid. And then obviously made it to the quarterfinals against Opelka and lost in 2 tight sets. And he played fairly well. I watched that match. Opelka's serve, he did a much better job than the previous opponents to Opelka, and maintaining it. He couldn't really attack it, and I don't think he broke a single time. It came down to like the very end. He got broken in the first set, and then there was a tiebreak in the second set. But I think he'll have no problem knocking out Calvin Klein in straights and potentially by five or more games.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, whenever I see lines like this, I kind of get scared. But Delbonis, when he's a minus 350 favorite or greater, he wins 90% of his matches. Um, we're not looking for him to win though. We're looking for him to cover, but I think he will. He has a pretty good track record as you know as this big of a fave. So yeah,
Yeah,
should
he
be
doesn't
good.
he doesn't really lose often to players of this guy's caliber. It rarely ever happens. He normally makes it through the first couple rounds. In his last 4 tournaments, he's made it past his first two matchups.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, always nice to see this player pop up on like for your first round in the draw. Um, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's up next?
Moving on. We got O'Connell, who actually beat Calvin Klein in qualies to get here. Versus Martin. I think Andre Martin. Um, I kind of fuck with Martin here. Just a lean though. Uh, Martin has really been up and down this year. He did okay on the tour. Fucked with some challenger tournaments for a little bit. I don't think he's played a main draw match in like 3 months. Um, is he like minus 3.5 fave?
Let me see. No, it's
Oh wow, this is a
actually only a
pick.
half game. Yeah, it's basically a pick 'em.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I'll take Martin here strictly because he's you know
The better play.
in my eyes the better player. But yeah, I don't know what's good with him. He's been playing challenger for like the last 2 or 3 months, but and O'Connell ain't all that. So Martin probably a value play. Will probably be a sweaty one, but uh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All
We
right.
don't got to spend too much
Yeah,
time on
I
this.
I have nothing to say other than I'm gonna fade this one. Just because, like you said, Martin's been playing in a few challengers, or a lot of challengers as of late, and he's been losing to players that I've never even heard of, which is like troubling to me. And he got smacked when he played Struff last. Smacked against McDonald. I think there's something to be cautious of there. O'Connell actually beat Struff in Melbourne in straights, which was pretty impressive back then. He hasn't really done anything since, but I mean, it's just this is a tricky matchup for me, and I'm just gonna stay as far away from it as possible.
I don't blame you. Moving on. Uh, Birankis versus Dusan Lajovic. Um, I think Lajovic should be the odds-on favorite to win this tournament. Being like a probably top 3 best players in this draw, and also being
You said
Serbian.
Lejovic.
Lajovic.
He's I just want to say something. He's 0-5 this year on clay.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I see that, but I think on paper he might be the best player in this draw, unless I'm missing something. Best player as in ranking, I guess.
Yeah, I
Um,
wouldn't put him above like Double Nice or
really?
yeah, I wouldn't. I think
I'm
Renderneck
try-
would take him. Um,
Oh, come on.
I hey man, I mean this man is 6-13 overall in the year, 0-5 on clay. Lost to Tifo, Evans double. He lost to Double Nice, in Belgrade. Lost to
you know,
McDonald in straights. Lost
he's
to
he's
Shapovalov.
been playing good players. Come on. He's been playing good players.
Hey man.
Um, I mean, he's been playing players a lot better than Berankis at least. I mean, Dan Evans was on absolute crack cocaine in Monte Carlo. He made the semis or quarters in Monte Carlo. Del Bonis, we know how that goes. Mackenzie McDonald, all right, that might be a bad loss. But then Shapovalov, that understandable. John Millman, maybe not a good loss either. But I mean, these are like tour level players, all right.
Yeah, I'm not making a case for B Rankus at all.
Respect my man's.
I'm just trying to put it out there just to brighten your perspective. As I see uh this man's game currently.
Yeah. The line is tricky too. A money line bet I would have liked to make on Lajovic. Um, but he's like a minus 3.5. The money line's 200. Um, I might fucks with it, but Unkis is bang on average. At his best, he could probably beat Lajovic in his current form. I don't know. Probably won't play this. I say Lajovic finally wins the game. Finally on clay.
All right. Well, for me, like I said, I don't really trust the man. Nor do I trust Birankis. But I think if I was maybe gonna play it, I'd maybe look at a potential over. But that's still kind of iffy for me. I think both of these guys are pretty poor this year. They've honestly both played pretty good players. Birankis' last few losses have been against Zverev, Ivashka, Dublinese, ARV, Struff, Kachanov. So I mean, they're both playing pretty solid competition, and they're both losing. So it's like, it's hard to judge people off of. It's easier to judge people off their wins than it is their losses. So I mean, that's why I tend to like kind of fade these. But I'm a fade with a potential over. But at the end of the day, I'm fading. Over would be like something I'd look at though.
All right, fair. Yeah. For a lot of these games, even if we're not gonna play them or be on them, interesting to see how they play out. Particularly this one, and then the Gerasimov and Molang match. I don't know why that matchup intrigues me. But anyway, moving on. We got Renderneck versus RCB. Now RCB, bro, he's a qualies warrior, bro. I don't think he's lost qualies this year. He might have posted a perfect record in qualies this year. I'm not sure.
I'll
But
look
every
into
time
it
I see
while you
him,
go over it.
yeah, every time I see him in qualies, he always comes out, 2-0, and then loses in the first round of whatever tourney it is. I seen Estoril, he did lose in qualies, so
He did in
but then I actually
Madrid
got a spot.
as well. But I mean, for the most
Oh,
part,
really?
for the most part, he gets it done.
Bro, he's a warrior against the bums. Um, Rinderneck sort of kind of on that level, even though he's just coming off a fantastic tournament in Lyon, where he was actually a lucky loser, lost in qualies himself to Joao Sousa. Um, but nonetheless, he beat Mikael Ymer, he beat Yannick Sinner in three, and lost to Nori in three. Um, I like the over here.
Me too. I was gonna say it.
Yeah, bro. Renderneck, all his games in Lyon, all 5 games, including qualies, went to three. RCB, his games haven't been going to three. But he's sort of that, his quality wise, he's good for a set, probably can't sweep. Um, so yeah, I think this makes absolute total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
If I'm gonna touch on it, I would say that, like you said, RCB is like a quality warrior. He'll get the job done more than likely. But I think Renderneck is good enough to win a set at least. At least grab one. Pretty much in all of the not all of the matchups. But in his wins, it's not that he goes down and then comes back. It's that he drops the set after he goes up. And then in his 2 losses, he's won the second set. So I think he's good enough to take either the first set, and then he'll probably lose the second set, or he'll lose the first set and then take the second set. So, I just think Renderneck will keep it tight. And their last matchup hit 23. That was in the Belgrade Challenger earlier this year, last month actually. But yeah, I like the over here too for sure.
muy bien, muy bien. Um, yeah, bro. If this doesn't go over, I'll be pissed. Honestly, I'll probably play it for 1U. If it doesn't go over, I'll be seriously pissed. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I don't wanna jinx it or say that it's an absolute anything. But anyway,
For sure.
um, uh, Fernando Verdasco versus something Pui. Um, I know you have a stance on this game.
That's
So you
actually.
can go
Oh
ahead
wait,
and
never
talk
mind.
about it. But
Wait. Uh,
it's a fade for me.
my bad. I thought that one was tomorrow. I was gonna be like, wait. But I mean, it's not and by all, I can't even talk right now. It's not by any means a play. For me, I was just throwing out little ideas, your way as I was kind of like just peeking at all the matchups. Kind of what I saw was, let me pull it up. Verdasco hasn't won a match all year, if I'm not mistaken. He's 0-4. 3 of those have been on clay. They have been against pretty solid opponents. But every single match has been in straights that he's lost. He lost to Ivashka, Garin, ARV, and then Fratangelo in Miami. But, like, come on. This is the female Zhang we got here. And then Pui. Is that how you say it? Pui?
I I don't have no clue. If I had to gauge, I'd say Pui.
Pui. In their
Pui.
previous matchup, I mean, it's been a few years, but Pui won in straights, and then in the matchup before that, he lost in straights. So, I mean, Pui hasn't done anything super, super impressive. In Monte Carlo, that was his last tournament. He beat Peya in straights, beat Papirin in 3, and then lost to ADF. And almost took it to 3. Well, not really, actually. He lost the tiebreak in the second set, 7-2. So, I don't know. I was looking kind of potentially at the Pui money line. It's actually shifted some. It's now at minus 145. So, definitely out of my comfort zone for a player like that. But I think he'll probably get the job done, considering Verdasco is nowhere to be found. I think he's on a missing. He's on a milk jug somewhere, saying that he's missing. But yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Not a play. Just that is all.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, nice to hear your thoughts. Probably one of those games that I'll monitor and be curious to see just how it plays out. But yeah, here we go. Last game for Belgrade tomorrow. Albo versus Montero. Albo might be the most inconsistent bum on tour. But I think there's some value on him. My lines are incomplete. I'm only seeing his the money lines. I don't see a total or
Bovada, I'm looking
spread.
at 4-game spread for Montero, and then minus 290 for money line, and then over unders 21.5.
No play for me, but I would strongly lean dog and or over. Honestly, could be an upset. This would probably be one of the biggest upsets of the day if we see it. But yeah, I don't think Montero is that good to be that big of a fave. I mean, Albo is a bit of a bum as well these days. Played a lot early in the year on clay. I think he played one match, if I'm not mistaken.
He's only played one this year on clay, and he lost to Musetti 6-3, 6-4.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's good with him. Probably pass. But
Yeah.
I know he's got the quality. Probably a former injury issue, if I'm not mistaken. But Montero ain't really all that. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have really nothing to say. I'm a fade here. If I was gonna play anything, like maybe like an over or something like that, just because Montero doesn't really get the job done fairly easily in Rome. His last win, in his last, I think it's 6 tournaments, he only has 1 win, and it was a 7-6, 7-6 against Kukushkin. And then in his last 3 losses, he's seen 4 tie breaks and a total of 12 sets, so all of them being 3-setters. So maybe a potential over, but at the same time, Albo could get just steamroll just for his complete bum status. But yeah, fade.
Fair.
Parma. Let's get to Parma. Parmesan.
Let's get to Parma. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool how we're back to like sort of 1 week it's the chicks, and then the week after the men's come and play like in the same place.
Yeah.
Madrid and Rome were just like 2 big ass tournaments where they were able to accommodate both tours simultaneously. But yeah, anyway, so back to Parma and Belgrade. Here we go to Parma, where I think was much more enjoyable than Belgrade, at least last week for the chicas. But anyway,
Definitely.
first up, Bedin versus Salvatore Caruso. Um, surprised by how big of a favorite Bedene is. I mean minus
But
300.
I like it.
Is that right?
Minus 3.5.
Is he 100?
Wait, what? You said how much?
Minus 300 money line.
I'm
But yeah,
seeing
minus.
260
Okay, okay,
now.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I see it too. Uh yeah, bro. Might have to. I think that minus 3.5 is saying something. Oh, I might have to. I might have to lean that way. Caruso has been overwhelmingly disappointing, in all honesty. And Bedene seems to be getting the ball rolling a little bit. Against Massetti though, I think he was disappointing. I mean, Massetti was spitting a little bit in Lyon, but I feel like that he could have at least snagged the set. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Caruso is way way worse as far as quality is concerned. So, um, I'd fuck with that minus 3.5. Only concern would be Salvatore playing at home in Parma, but I mean he's bad. He's bad.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I was just gonna say is Caruso, his last 4 matches have been losses, all of them in straights. None of them going beyond 10 games. His last 2 were against Tennis Sangren, which is obviously embarrassing, and then Golfin,
And
6-4, 6-1. And
also embarrassing.
I don't like to bring things up like this because it doesn't translate. But Bedene beat Golfin in straights just a few days ago. So, I mean, use that information as you will. But I like Bedene here minus 3.5. I think he'll probably get it done in straights. If not, I still think it's in play over the course of 3 sets. I think Bedene will win one of these sets like 6-2 or something like that. Yeah, I don't see how this doesn't cover. This could be a potential 2U play for me. The only thing that kind of scares me is that prior to Lyon, Bedene hasn't really done anything. So
Yeah, fair enough. Hopefully it's not he's in a one turning wonder. But no, I think from what I saw from him, he's definitely motivated and definitely a capable player. So let's see how that goes. Definitely like him minus the games. Moving on. Johnson and Johnson vaccine versus Vaselli. Um, yeah, I don't know. I might pass this game. Both of these dudes are bums, low key. JD Vaselli should probably take this game, but I don't want to fuck with it.
yeah, we can just
His
skip it
minus
to be honest, if you want.
yeah, minus 3.5 might be a move too. But yeah, let's skip. Um, all right, Kitchenato versus Brancasio. Um, I'm gonna skip this one too because I don't want to fuck with either of these players. In all honesty.
What's the line at 4.5? Okay, yeah, we can skip it. I was leaning Ketchinato against TFO money line, and I actually had to play just 1 unit put in, but yeah, I don't want to play this one against the other guy.
A lucky loser. Yep.
Yeah, no.
Sam Querrey versus Nishiyoko. You want to talk about this game? I don't mind talking about this game.
If you want, just jump right in.
All right. Nishioka, not the best player in the world, but I really liked what I saw from him in Lyon. Um, he played 3 games, all against decent opponents. He won 2 of them, Hugo and Bale at home and Monfils at home. So he actually beat 2 French players in Lyon, which I think is pretty impressive. And then he lost to Tsitsipas. Wasn't all that embarrassing, honestly. In all honesty, 6-3, 6-4 to Tsitsipas, who eventually won the whole thing, as we saw today. But yeah, yo, give me Nishioka in straights. Nishioka 2-0 is only minus 120. Um, you might seem a little risky, but I don't think so, man. The way he's playing and as bad as Sam Querrey is, I don't think he can snag a set. And I feel like Nishioka, a type of guy, like if he's rolling, like he's not gonna throw or bum out. Like I think he'll take a very decent player to beat Nishioka.
Yeah.
Um, the way he's playing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's
For,
what I'm saying.
for me, if I was going to say anything, I'll probably end up fading it. Nishioka, like you said, when he's rolling, but at the same time, when he's not, he's really not. And it's tough for me. I think I would maybe look at a potential over, but it's just hard to trust Query or however you say it. I've actually never seen him play, so I don't know enough about him.
He's American, bro. That's that might help.
Okay, yeah, that's all I need to hear. Fade.
Might help paint the picture. But yeah, -120. Nishioka and straights. Can't go wrong in my opinion. All right, moving on. All right, another game I like, even though it features two below average tour level players, is Gasquet versus Ultmeyer. Um, I like the over a lot. I feel like none of these guys know how to win games. Even though they're both in decent-ish form and have both done decent-ish things on clay. Maybe Gasquet more so. Um, but Altmaier had a pretty impressive win against Gombos, who is a pretty good player. But I mean, Altmaier playing against decent players in the main draw, like Kitchenato and Lopez in Geneva. Uh, Bad news. Um, but yeah, he's an alright player. Hasn't played much this year. Could probably do some work against Gasquet, who's not the most consistent or overly impressive player in the world either. So I'm a fuck with the over. It feels right. It feels right. And that's what my gut's saying.
All right. To me, I think Gasquet is the better player here. Um, I think I would maybe take a little peek at the -2.5, but overall, this is another fade for me. I mean, kind of similar to the other matches we were talking about. Two players that just are consistent losers. They both kind of snag a win here and there. Never really that impressive. Gasquet's most impressive win is against Kitchenato, that was back in March. And then he beat Smallman, who obviously is a dumpster fire right now. Altmaier hasn't really beat anybody. He hasn't really played anybody super impressive. Kitchenato being probably the best, or Daniel, I'd assume. But yeah, I think I would maybe look at Gasquet -2.5, but probably gonna fade it. Maybe I'll throw a unit on it. I don't know. I'll think about it. What we got up next? You there?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm here. Um, yeah, I think Gasquet would be my lean too. But as soon as I saw this game, I my mind just thought over straight away. And I do kind of like it, so I'm gonna rock with it. See what happens.
All right.
Next up we got Simo versus Pedro Martinez. Um, Pedro Martinez 2-0 is -110. Also like his -4.5. Even though it's plus 105. I don't know why that hasn't moved to a 4. But in all honesty, man, Gil Simo is a bum, and Pedro Martinez is art, and I think he should be happy with his first round matchup and potentially win this in straights. I might be taking a look at his 2-0 win for -110. I think that's a very, very good price.
All right. I really don't know much about this matchup. When I went to look at the site that I used to kind of look over their recent play and whatnot, I'm assuming that Portero actually dropped out or something, because that was Simon's intended partner, I believe. But yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one. I'm gonna fade it, and I think there's enough other plays around, and I just don't know enough about these two players.
Fair.
Oh no, I am looking. Wait. I am looking at it. Martinez's middle name, I guess, is Martinez, and his last name's Portero, unless they have it mixed up. But yeah, either way, I'm still a fade. Still a fade.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I mean Pedro Martinez is alright. Simone all year has played not much since the AO. Montpellier lost first round. Cagliari lost to beat Travaglia first round, lost to Senego. Barcelona lost to Andújar first round. Estoril lost to Herbert first round, and last week in Lyon lost to first round. All of those in straights, not very good. Pedro Martinez, better player here.
Okay.
Wins in two. Wins in two. Um, Last game on the board for Parma is an ugly one that we shouldn't really cover. Andrea Seppi versus Seb Corda. Yeah,
All right.
sucks that we'll end the night on a pass, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about it. There's enough other plays and decent matches to go around. The slate obviously isn't the prettiest, but this is what we got to go through to get to Roland Garros and all that. So
Yes, bro. There are like a million qualies tomorrow in Paris.
yeah, I don't even want to look at them. Just kidding.
No,
But
there are so many. A lot of them no names, and everyone obviously playing this week is qualified for RG, or they're way shitty that they don't even get to play the qualies. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Um, Exciting to see how this goes. Hopefully, we get a decent-ish week to build some momentum going into the French Open. But
yeah, so there's 64 qualies for the men's, 64 for the women, I believe. Just way too much to cover. We're gonna hold off on talking about that until the main draw gets released, and we find out who our beast players are gonna be playing against, as far as like qualifiers and people who can make it past the first round. Yeah, I think I'm actually a little bit confident. I was when I first saw this slate, I was kind of like, wow, this kind of sucks. I mean, we have a few good matchups coming in the next couple days, as far as like matchups that were supposed to be today, but they're actually postponed until tomorrow. I don't know if they moved that around, but yeah, these tournaments are going to be interesting. That we might find some good little plays here and there, but I'm ready for the real action. And then we got Bet One coming up after Roland Garros, so a pretty exciting next couple of weeks. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
yeah, definitely. There's even gonna be a tournament somewhere in France on this during the second week of Roland Garros, which I think a lot of the better players who exited early will actually uh, go and play there. It's kind of embarrassing, um, but it's tennis nonetheless.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, obviously we don't know who's going to be playing in that one, but that'll actually take place simultaneously during the second week of the French Open. So yeah, should be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that wraps up our May 24th picks. If you guys, as always, if you're looking to find out what plays we actually play, where we allocate our units and everything like that, make sure you follow us on Twitter. Links are in the description as well as on the screen. Another thing, we have we're a part of the Bearded Betters Discord run by Corey Crone, awesome dude. He's brought together a bunch of I was gonna say gamblers, but betters, where we discuss all different types of sports. We got the NBA playoffs going on. You can chat it up with everybody, post your plays, all that type of stuff. And then obviously we're getting Liddy in the tennis channel, live match, pre-match, post-match. So yeah, check it out. Link in the description. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Best of luck to us, and let's get it going.
Let's get it. All right. Peace, everybody.
Fuck you, Coco Golf.